Hello. Well, it's a glorious summer Sunday, as opposed to last night when we had thunder, lightning and torrential rain. The family have all gone out. They've gone to Cleveland's car show, which I believe is nice, and I've forgotten to set my timer as per usual, because you know me, there has to be something I haven't done, hasn't there? Right, timer. We'll do 28 minutes because I've already started. That's that done, yeah. Anyway, I'm very hot because I'm modelling one of the tops I've got for sale. Well, it's a shrug, whatever you want to call it, yeah. So this is why I'm wearing an all white ensemble, because if you're going to showcase anything that you've made and you want people to look at it, you need a blank canvas underneath. So I usually wear all black, or because it's summer, all white. Anyway, I thought I'd show you this. I hope you can see it. Let me move the camera a wee bit further back. It's a bit awkward because I've got everything in the way. This is one of those shrug things that you make as a square. It's a pretty forgiving sign, but it is really sort of like a lady's size, I would say. So this is what I was showcasing today. If you're interested in anything that I've got on, what I'm going to be showing you, then please let me know, and then I can give you a price. Postage to the US I will do, but it is about £29 to send the smallest thing. So, whatever, yeah. I'll start off by showing you what I've bought. These are not for sale, these are mine. I did mention that I'd got myself a new pair of trousers in patchwork. I love patchwork. Well, they're imitation patchwork. They're not all sewn together in pieces. But they've got the patch pockets on the side. And I got them from a lovely shop called Moonbeams and Mayhem. They don't, I don't think, send to the US, but oh, goodness me. I know we've got the car show in Cleveland, but I think something very noisy's just gone past. And then I bought myself a rather pretty dress from eBay. But I think it's meant for a giant. It's a lovely dress, and it does fit a little bit snugly because I did buy a smaller size than what I would normally buy, hoping to fit. It does. It's got a little bit of a lo and behold neckline, so I'm thinking of crocheting like a little fake bit, you know, to go across there just to cover up the décolletage. But it is meant for an Amazon lady. So I'm going to have to cut off about 6-8 inches off the bottom to turn it up. And also what I didn't realise when I bought it was it has a gigantic split right up the middle of the back, which a little bit high. It nearly goes up to your, yes, well, we won't go into that, but it nearly goes up to there. Yeah. Now we have got an aeroplane going over. We live not too far from an aerodrome where these, you know, the private planes set off from. So we have the Sunday afternoon flyers that come over the top, sometimes making a heck of a noise, but still. This one I can't try on because I can't fit into it, but I think it's so pretty if you know anybody who's tiny. I think that is so gorgeous, and I would wear it myself, but I made it too small for me. Yeah, I made it for a tiny person. Isn't that gorgeous? All those colours. Be lovely with a cream trousers, cream dress, cream skirt, wouldn't it? Something floaty. Be so lovely, wouldn't it? Or shorts if you were going to a festival. So lovely. Right, what else have we got? This one I finished. I think I might just get away with putting it on, although I think it's a bit small for me. But I'll have a go. I'll have a try. Oh, yeah, I think it's a little bit on the snug side for me. It's a bolero just in black. It's got the curved edges at the sides. And it's just a little bolero. It could do with a little button actually. Well, for me it could. It would fit me if I wore it with a little button to keep it from flying apart, but you know, that's easily remedied by anybody who buys it, isn't it? And as usual, I have left my signature tail ends that I haven't stitched in remedied in a moment, yes. So, oh gosh, it is hot. Take this off. Oh, I hope you're not being put off by the sight of my rotund figure. This I absolutely love. And the people in the shop loved it, and one woman said she was going to have it, that woman who worked in the shop. But of course she didn't buy it. I've got one of the, well I've had a couple of these over the years in different shades. I looked back on what I'd made, and I made a beautiful one that got sold, and it was in shades of greens and purples. Oh, it was fantastic. I don't know why I sold that. I should have kept that myself. But anyway, I didn't, and I sold it. But I can always replicate it again. Oh dear, this is... Right, it has a fold back collar at the front, like that. It's tied with little ties, but you could put a button on if you wished. But the back is the glorious bit. It's a circular. It would be absolutely ace at a festival. Or if you're like me, you're bold enough to wear bright colours. I think it is absolutely fabulous. Once again, this one is for sale if you happen to like it. I like it. I like it a lot. But when you've got as many things, woolly things in your wardrobe as I have, yes, I could wear a different sweater, I think, every day for, I won't say a year, but definitely a few months I could wear a different sweater. These I love. They are retro, but they were from a pattern in a, well, I won't say a recent magazine, but they weren't that long ago. They were in either Simply Crochet or Inside Crochet or something like that. I had these on offer at £10 plus the postage cost, and I think they are lovely to wear over anything. They're just retro. They're a little top, and they're the same on the back. A retro. Yeah. But for £10, I mean, you can't make it yourself, can you? You'd have to buy all the colours, wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying. It's going to have to go over the head. Oh, this is where I have trouble. When you get older, you get arthritic. You have trouble getting things over your head. And I've got the same one, which is just me because it's in shades of purple. Oh, this is a bigger one actually. That other one was a bit of a snuggy fit on me, but this one I think will fit quite well. But as I say, I have got so many tops, I can't keep keeping everything. It's getting ridiculous in mine. My wardrobe is just crammed full of stuff. There we go. Yeah. You can wear it over a long sleeve in the winter, just for an extra layer. You know, I wear things like this over a plain dress, like a long sleeve black dress or something. I would wear this. Or a long sleeve purple dress. I would wear it. Or trousers. Anything. I would wear that. But you're going to have to help me out here. I can't keep keeping everything, you know. My wardrobe is full to bulging. What else have I got left? Oh, the shawls. This yarn, I've just put it for sale actually on eBay. There's 6 cakes of it. 6 cakes, and the starting price I think is £17.99, which is like £3 a ball. When you think there is 200 grams on each ball, and one ball made this shawl. Just one ball made this shawl. So, you know, you could buy it and share it amongst your friends, couldn't you? You know, the yarn. I'm asking £15 for this shawl. It's a nice big shawl. 15 plus postage for the shawl. And the last but not least is the one done in, it's got mohair in it. Again, it's £15. And this is a nice shawl with purples and a tassel. I think it looks rather pinkish on the video, but it's actually dark purple at the bottom, sort of a pinky purple coming next, and then a lighter pink, and then the pale pink at the top. Again, it's quite a big one, triangular, but quite large. So, I've got more. I'm going to do more of these videos, you know. So you have to get used to me trying to flog me wares, you know. But I am determined, A, to get rid of a lot of things out of the shed. The she shed, the crafting shed. Doesn't sound as nice as the yarn van, which is Crochet Rocks has got. I have got a she shed. But I don't want it to be a storage space. I want it to be able to do a bit of sewing, like this dress that's 8 inches too long, you know. I mean, I'm going to have to hand stitch this one because I can't get to the machine at the minute. I've got the dolly's house that I want to paint. And I would like it to be like a craft space. And I've got a big box full of patterns that I need to sort, you know, into children's knitting patterns, children's crochet patterns, you know. I need to sort them all out. So I've got the folders ready. I've got the big folders, you know, the big folders ready. I just haven't got around to doing them because there's not a lot of room in the shed to do anything. Plus it's a wee bit on the dark side in there unless I have the door open. My son is going to put me a bigger light in there so I can actually craft in there. But like he said, I can't get in there at the moment, Mum. You've got so much stuff in there. Which, I'll hold my hand up, it is true. I do have too much stuff in there. I'd like it to be, when I walk in, a more open space. Yeah. As I said before, nothing is on the floor. None of my yarn has ever been loose or on the floor. Anything you're buying from me has always been in its bags, safely away from anything, spiders or anything. It's all been sealed up. Everything's been sealed and it's in a bag. So anything you buy from me, it's never been loose or dangling about anywhere. It's not grubby. I've got a thing. I think it's with having had the wool shop, you know. A lot of wool shops have got their yarn like loose and just pushed in. I had a lot of customers with small children who seemed to buy them something sticky to keep them occupied before they came in the shop. So they'd either have sticky toffee fingers or, worst of all, they'd have an ice cream or an ice lolly, which they would then proceed to wipe it down the shelves. Everything's in a plastic bag, so there's no harm done. You just go along with a wet cloth and you wipe it off. But I can imagine what it would be like if it was open shelving, with the yarn just pushed in. It looks very pretty, very, very attractive looking, but very, very hard to keep it clean and keep it away from the sticky little baby fingers. Yeah, so that's why my shop never looked as attractive as some other shops, because I didn't have loose yarn just pushed in everywhere. And I don't in my shed. It's force of habit. It just comes from, oh, I'm sweating. Once in my lifetime I'm actually sweating. It comes from years of being in the shop and keeping everything clean. So it just comes as second nature to me to put everything into a plastic bag and keep it clean in the shed. Yes, so things are improving. I've got a great big bag. I don't think you can see it over there, which is going to be packed up this afternoon before going to America. Tomorrow, after I've got to go to the Blackpool Victoria Hospital. Nothing, mate, nothing wrong. Just got to have my CPAP machine checked. They do it on a regular basis to make sure everything's working, make sure your nose piece is fitting correctly and everything, and nothing. You know, it's an in and out job really, basically. You just go take your equipment, they check it all over, make sure it's safe. It's not going to electrocute me or something, and then they give it back to you. So there's nothing I'm going for. And I still haven't made the appointment for my eyes, although my eyes are worse than what they've been. I've got an awful suspicion that, you know, the cataract operation isn't 100% successful. As you can see, my eyes are watering all of the time. And the camera over there, I can't even see. You know the little thing that you look at to make sure you're in the screen? I can't even see it. Yeah. So I think we're back to whatever. And yesterday I was reading, when I did the live, I was trying to read the comments, you know, that come at the side of the live. And I'm like, I thought, oh, we're back to doing this again, you know, that's squinting again. We're back to doing that. Put the glasses on, put my readers on, that didn't improve anything. And I put my distance ones on, and that didn't improve anything. So I thought, you are going to have to make that appointment. You're going to have to go to Specsavers. I've got my appointment made with my teeth. Well, one tooth being filled. I need those 2 teeth at the front filling. So there will be no more biting yarn when you forget your scissors, you know. I've got a terrible habit of doing that. Biting thread, biting yarn. You know, when you can't find your scissors, you can't be bothered going looking for them, so you get, bad habit. Bad habit, yeah. But I use my teeth for lots of other things that I'm not supposed to use them for. You know, they're like a third hand, you know. When I'm walking, I've got a bad habit with my phone of putting it in like that, in my mouth, because I need to make a little thingy, you know, to hang around your neck. But then because I'm always leaving it somewhere, can't find it. When I was living on my own in Prestwich, I had the house phone. So when I really could not find my mobile phone, I used to call it from the house phone. Listen to it ringing and follow it round the house to see if I'd left it in the bathroom, the kitchen, the garden, wherever I'd left it. But here it's a little bit more awkward, because if there's nobody in, I can't say to my son if he's at work, can you ring my phone while I find it, you know. So I'm like going all around the house hoping that somebody sends me a message or I get a notification, which I usually do the minute I start doing a YouTube. Hasn't happened so far, so don't put a jinx on it. Usually, the minute I pick up the camera, you know, it goes diddly-dee, diddly-dee. It isn't a phone call or anything like that, yeah. It isn't a phone call. So, well, yesterday wasn't a good day. Well, not for me personally, but my ex-husband, his step-grandson, he passed away yesterday, 18 years old with meningitis. Somebody asked on one of my other videos, was he inoculated against it? But you see, I don't know him. I mean, when you think my ex-husband and I had been parted for 30 years or so, that I wasn't around when this child was born. So I don't really know much about him. Whether he was inoculated or not, I don't know. And then there was another lady who was a friend of mine from many, many years ago. And she actually used to come on the lives because unfortunately she had a stroke about 18 months ago. And she'd started coming on the lives because she'd started knitting again with her arm that was, you know, she'd started using it again. Anyway, it's her birthday today, so as usual I went onto her Facebook page to put happy birthday Pauline, yeah? And I found out she passed away on the 7th of June, this month. Which is a shock. Don't know anything more about it. I don't know how, why, when or where, whether she had another stroke or what, I don't know. But I thought, oh my goodness me. And then the other day, was it yesterday, I got phoned up that my cousin's wife had passed away. I mean, she was in her 80s, so I won't say it was expected, but you kind of, you know, when people get into their 80s, it's not a big surprise, is it, you know. But it was to me because I didn't think she was ill, but maybe, you know, people keep things to themselves, don't they? So I'm thinking, oh my goodness me, that was 3 like in 2 days. Aye. We must stay cheerful, we must stay that life must go on, live each day as if you mean to live the next one. You know, you wake up in the morning and think, yay, thank goodness, another day. Another day, yeah. So, as I say last night, oh my goodness me, I am terrified of thunderstorms. I know you shouldn't be, I know it's irrational, it's just stupid, but I am terrified of them, absolutely petrified, when they're banging, crashing and the lightning. I don't know which frightens me the most, the lightning or, yeah. If you can remember about, was it 2-3 years ago, lightning struck my house and it moved the telly, blew the telly apart. I had to get a new television. Fortunately, I didn't have my computer on at the time, so it didn't do anything to that. And it wasn't just me, it had blown quite a few people's TVs and whatever, got just in my little area. It must have struck. It didn't actually strike my house, but it struck very near too, and it had a knock-on effect. So that didn't help my terror of thunderstorms. It's like, oh my God, it nearly struck me. But the worst of all used to be in the car when I was younger, because cars used to be made of metal. I mean, I don't know what they're made of now, but probably something that isn't metal. But years back when I was young, the cars were metal. And I mean, I used to actually get electric shocks off my car. I'd go like that to touch the door handle to open it, and right up the arm, electric shock. Nobody else in the family got this. My dad used to say, it's you, it's just you. I used to get electric shocks off my car. And when I worked at the job centre, we had a metal filing cabinet, with everything. And the carpet must have been nylon or something synthetic. And I would walk across it, probably shuffling my feet, touch the filing cabinet, ow! And in fact, one of my colleagues was standing next to me one time, and he said, my God, he said there was a spark that came between you and the filing cabinet. What happened? And I went, I don't know. So anybody was around when I walked towards the filing cabinet, I used to say, can you do me a favour? Can you just open the filing cabinet for me? And they used to be, why? What's wrong with you? Just open it. I said, no. And I used to be, before I'd opened it. And I used to get a shock off the, what do you call it, the photocopier as well. I used to get a shock off that. But I think it was the carpet. I think it was static used to build up. I once went to a carpet showroom years ago. Probably don't do it now, it's probably different material they're made out of. But I once went to a carpet showroom and we were choosing a new carpet. I was still married, so it must have been a while ago. And I said to the salesperson, I said, is it just me or do other people get static, walking across certain carpets? And he went, oh no, I said, it does happen. He said, it's the electric as you walk with your shoes. I suppose if I'd have picked my feet up, or maybe it wouldn't have happened, but you tend to slide your feet rather than pick them up. I had a friend who used to do that. Oh my God, I used to say, pick your feet up, pick your feet up. She used to really and she used to wonder why her shoes wore out. She used to really drag her feet along. She was going along. And you'd be walking next to her and she was going slurp, slurp, slide, slide, slurp. And he said, put your feet up. It's no wonder you've got no heels left on your shoes. Yeah. Mind you, my cousin had put a thing on Facebook. Something to do with spraying. I don't know what it was. I can't remember, but it brought back into mind we used to have a customer at one of the job centres I worked. And she used to really, really smell. I mean, we're talking stink. And she wasn't down and out, she wasn't homeless or anything, but my goodness me, she used to stink. And the customers that were standing behind her were all going, oh, what's that smell? It's awful, what is it? It's terrible, So we used to whip round with the air freshener. And we used to go, oh, there's a wasp, and spray on the back of her coat. You could have retched, it was that bad. And then when she'd gone out, nobody would sit on the chair, so we used to have to take the chair, put it outside to air off, to let the stench blow away, put another chair in its place. And the customers coming in 10 minutes later used to be saying, oh God, what's that smell? And one of our advisors had the awful task of having to tell her that she was not going to get a job unless she was more careful about her personal hygiene. And they were all like drawing straws, in the staff room. Who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her? It's not a nice subject to have to tell her. But it was, oh, hello, first one of the day. But it wasn't like an ordinary, like a BO smell that you could approach by saying, oh, I haven't forgotten our deodorant today. It was a really, I have never washed in years kind of smell, and I have never washed my clothes in years. I'm sorry if you're eating your dinner and I'm putting you off. But, oh, by the way, I have had a shower and I have got it before I tried anything on that I'm trying to sell, just in case you're wondering. You won't be getting beer off me. But I did think that I would just try them on for a change instead of putting them on a mannequin, you know. Mannequins are fine, aren't they? I do miss Paris, you know, my 6 foot tall, lovely mannequin that I used to have when I lived in Prestwich. I do miss her because she made everything I made look fantastic, you know. But I couldn't bring it. I've got no room. Where would I put a 6 foot mannequin? My bedroom is so small, you know, it's over there, it's very small. It's one of those bedrooms you just got enough room to walk round the bed, you know, not much else, because you've got fitted wardrobes and stuff. So, I can't put her in there. I can't really put her in the lounge. I used to put her in my bay window when I lived in Prestwich and frighten the neighbours because they thought it was me standing there giving it a nosy, you know, like curtain twitcher. But I didn't have nets. But, you know, the curtain twitcher. You've all got one in your street, haven't you? The one that's always looking out the window to see what you're up to, yeah. We used to have one in our street. I mean, Sally, she passed away a few years ago, but when we were younger, you know, she was probably in her 70s back when I was in my 20s, 30s. And I used to think, oh, she's at it again. You'd see the curtain move. And then if she didn't have the curtains drawn, she would stand behind a standard lamp with a bit shade. And she would stand behind that. I mean, she wasn't a big lady, but bear in mind that a standard lamp only has a very slender pole, doesn't it? You know, as it goes up, then the lampshade's stuck at the top. So she would stand behind a standard lamp, like peek around it, you know, to see what you were doing. You know, if you were having something delivered or anything like that. I mean, we all do it, don't we? You get a neighbour moving in across the road, you can't help, can you? Ooh, that's a nice sofa. Ooh, that's lovely. I can remember when we moved in, when I first got married. We moved in and people were watching our furniture. Anyway, a lady said to me afterwards, she said, do you not have a wardrobe? And I went, yes, we do have a wardrobe. She said, oh, I didn't notice one being carried in when you moved in. I went, no, it was in pieces. It was one of those, a great big 3 thing like that with a mirror in the middle that slid, you know. But it disassembled, if you know what I mean, for transport. It came like almost flat packed. So that's why she hadn't seen anybody manhandling a huge wardrobe. But to be honest with you, we had a funny set of stairs. They went up, and if you were more than about 5'10" or 6 foot, you had to duck because the bit came down. I mean, it's amazing how many men I sort of decapitated when we had a party or anything, you know. And they went to the toilet, which was upstairs. We didn't have a downstairs toilet back in the day. And they would come down the stairs and you go, mind you, bump, head. Because as they came down the stairs, bump, the top of their head off again. You were all right if you were about 5'8" and under. But if you were a bit more than that, you used to bang your head. It was the way the stairs were made. Oh, and that's telling me it's time to go. So I shall stop my video. Yeah. So getting things up and down the stairs was a feat. Getting beds up and down the stairs if they didn't come in pieces was now impossible. People used to take out the window, carry it through the front window. Anyway, I'm going to go now and hang my washing out and hope it dries. Hope we don't have another thunderstorm. So bye for now.